What is up, my people of YouTube? This is Hidden Angel Lionheart coming to you live once again with another deck profile. And this one I thought would be a little more interesting than the other ones I've been doing. And I'm going to be covering a pure variant of a very unique ritual deck archetype called Megaliths. Now, fun fact, as I said earlier, these cards are without question the only ritual archetype that treat themselves as their own ritualistic way of summoning themselves as spell cards. See what I did there? Haha, trying to be a little, I don't know, creative. But anyway, this deck is just very unique, very interesting, and I've seen a few different deck profiles of people using it, and just, I don't like it. I don't like the Drytron variant of it. I do not like the Cyber Angel variant. Ugh. Who likes Drytrons anyway? That deck is cancerous. Master Duel proved that point. Anyway, I'm going to be covering this deck as a pure variant. I have gone over the cards, so I shouldn't be able to mess up. If I do mess up, do forgive me. And this is actually a 40 card deck, believe it or not. And this is like super, I would say, budget friendly, honestly, because of the rarity of each card. But it's honestly not all the way complete yet, I would honestly go to say, because I'm missing a couple cards and I cannot find my 3 Senjus that I just had bought months ago. I put them in a binder and I cannot find them in what binder I put them in, because I have like 20 to 30 binders. Like, it's not even funny. Caleb can even comment on that. Shout out to Caleb. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to get into this deck profile. So anyway, we're going to get into the heart and soul card of the deck. We're playing 3 of the Megalith full. What he does is, he is basically a constant generator to... Okay, think of him as Fusion Destiny on steroids. Instead of fusing cards, you are summoning your Megaliths, like any of your Megaliths from your deck to the field, as long as you have material for it. So that is one of his abilities you get once per turn. And the other ability is, when he is summoned, ritual summon. Okay, yeah, I'm starting to forget now. I forewarned you guys. Oh yeah, when he is basically summoned, also as well, ritual summoned, give or take. I just butchered this video, but you guys are aware. I do this constantly anyway. When he is ritual summoned, he is able to target any ritual monster that is within your graveyard, Megalith-wise, and he basically is able to take the level of any Megalith and apply it to his own. So instead of him being a level 2, if you had a level 4 or level 8, his level becomes 4 or it becomes 8. So that is basically his first effect. And then we are playing 3 of the Megalith Ophile. Now, basically what she does is, of course, she's just... The other Megaliths, their other effect is basically sending themselves to the graveyard as tribute fodder to make more of your Megaliths from your hand. So therefore, whatever you summon, this card is always going to have a very unique effect, regardless. And whenever Ophile's ritual summon, what she does is basically you can add any Megalith monster from your deck to hand, except itself. So therefore, yeah, that's the other contingency of it. So therefore, as soon as it hits the field, you search your deck for another Megalith monster and you add it to your hand. And also you can sack it on the field, counting itself as cost for another Megalith monster. So therefore, some of these Megalith cards have to be on the field in order to activate that secondary effect where they can sack themselves as a fusion spell plus material, which is very unique, I will say. And then we're playing 2 Megalith Ock. What he's basically, as soon as he's ritual summoned, he basically treats himself as a Dark World dealing. So you draw a card to ditch a card. Self-explanatory. All these cards I can basically relate to something else as another card that we're very aware of. And most of these cards are searchers and destroyers, and you're going to find that out very quickly. And then we play 3 of Megalith Haggith. When he is ritual summoned, he is able to search out any Megalith spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is very helpful and common, of course. And as I said, all of these guys, except for Full, all have the effect to treat themselves as a ritual spell plus cost. So therefore, if you're going to summon Ophile from hand, you can use Ock for his ability. You would treat Ock for cost and then summon Ophile. Ophile for cost for Haggith. It's self-explanatory either way. And then I'm kind of debating on putting this back up to 3. We're playing 2 of the Megalith Bethor. Basically what Bethor does is he is a walking Raigeki and Harpy's Feather Duster in one. basically the distant love child of a lightning storm, give or take. And he basically gets that effect depending on the amount of ritual monsters, Megalith, or any ritual monster in your graveyard with different names. So say if you have full OPL, and there's like 6 or 7, actually, wait, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 7 different of these Megalith cards. If you have all 7 of different names in your graveyard, which is going to be very easy to do, as you're going to figure out real quick, you can tell that this deck is basically just very, very odd. And as I said, you need set different ritual monsters in graveyard with different names to pop off your opponent's field. So basically, he's a board wipe. And since we're playing him at 2, you have double the consistency chance of just popping the field. And also, another fun fact with full, and this is a quick effect, you can constantly ritual summon even during your opponent's turn. So as long as you have cards on your field or in your hand as cost, you can constantly, say for instance, if you had these 2 cards on your field, or if his level was already doubled and he was the same level as another Bethor, or any of these 2 or 3, and then you had this or the other one, there was 2 4s to make the 8, you would sack them for cost to play Bethor from deck, special summon the Bethor to basically just nuke the field for 2 different cards. And now the next one we have is Megalith Aerotron. We're playing 2 of him, same concept, but instead of him being on the field, he can be ditched from the hand, so he's basically a, the trap urgent tuning. I'm calling this urgent ritualing. The urgent ritual. We're going to call this card urgent ritual. So anyway, you can urgent ritual from your hand immediately, ditch him. So you have to choose the other cards in your hand, one for cost, then summon the other. And he gets super confusing with that. So, as I said, you ditch him immediately. He is not cost. You cannot ditch him for cost. He immediately just activates the effect to ritual summon. So if you have Fool in hand, you can ditch Ophiel. If you have Ophiel in hand, you can ditch any of these 2. If you have Bethor in hand, you guys get the point. So, yeah. And then we're playing the big boss monster, 3 Megalith Phaleg. Basically, what Phaleg does is, whenever you have at least, depending on the number of different names of ritual monsters or Megaliths you have in your graveyard, sorry, trying to adjust the camera, trying to see if this will work without it. Malfunctioning. You guys know I'm very notorious for having this mess up regardless. But anywho, yeah. He's basically the buffer for every ritual monster in your graveyard, all of your Megaliths, and actually, no, correct myself. All Megaliths. Not Megaliths. Frick frack! I douched that up. Anyway, you get the concept. Every monster on your field basically gets a 300-point buff for every ritual monster in the graveyard with different names. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 3, you're getting 2,100-point buff. Or vice versa. So I guess I can understand this concept where people are playing, and I'm wanting to play an incantation version with this deck, but I'm kind of poor at the moment. So I can't really afford all the other fun stuff I would love to afford. But again, being cheap has its sad parts. But anyway, once I get to that, I'm going to try an incantation version of this, because I actually saw some people playing that variant in Master Duel, and it could have been better during the normal and rarity event they had going on for like a week or 2. And a couple people actually whooped me really good with Incantation Megalith, I'm not going to lie. And it is a very stupidly good deck if you have the right cards and right combos. And as I said, Megaliths are very unique, they're very different, and they're very, very complicated to figure out. Like, even when I first started playing Megaliths, and I never really played them, I heard of them, but I never played them before, and I played the story mode on Master Duel. Oh my gosh, it took me like 10 times, I kid you not, to finish each of the advanced duels with them. Like, it was that bonkers and nuts. You had to play Megalith Necros, Megalith Adam Sipiter, and then there was one other one. I cannot remember the last deck that merged with this for the life of me. But I'm probably going to be doing a story mode version to the Master Duel here soon, actually, because I've actually considered doing that for a Let's Play of that, since there's not really that many people that I've kind of noticed that's actually doing the story mode besides Sam, but he did the live duel, so therefore, you can't really see a live duel unless he uploaded the live stream stuff, but I've not really seen him do that. But anyway, Team Samurai X, shout out to you, just because just because. And okay, for the rest of the monsters, we're playing one Morphing Jar. That's self-explanatory. If you're running out of cards, you set him to force your opponent and yourself to ditch the cards in your hand to draw 5 new fresh cards. So I've actually considered trading him out, but I have a sideboard already on the side for that. You'll see some of my side choices. If it's not that good, I apologize again. Budget friendly. So anyway, the last 3 cards we're playing are 3 of X Failure. That's just very simple. The hand trap that says screw you for your main phase effects. We are just going to screw your day up. So anyway, that's it for the monsters. And I think from there on out, we are going to move on to the spells. And hopefully my choice of spells are actually good. But that's it for the monster engine and the Megalith engine as well. And as I said, I'm going to consider looking into incantation, but until I can get a little more moolah. And so on, we're going to just go from there. Anyway, and now for the spells, we are going to choose 2 Megalith Portal, the main field spell of the deck. What this card does is, as long as it's on the field, any Megalith that's being hit has that effect to not be destroyed once per battle phase. So, say for instance, if you're trying to get rid of Full would be protected for that 1 round, and then for the round after that, it's basically free game. And also, this is another unique thing about this card, and that's why I said some of these cards, well, in my own sense, I basically said some of these cards are very recycling, and you can recycle the cards like you would with Salamangreats, for an example. This field spell basically targets a ritual monster in your graveyard, and then you can add it to your hand. You can only use the effect of the Megalith Portal once per turn. So not only does it make your monsters invincible for 1 turn during the battle phase, it also lets you bring back another ritual monster. So therefore, it's like a Samsara for rituals, but it's optional choice to do. And then we're playing 3 Megalith Uniform. This is a must to play at 3. It's a quick play spell. What it does is, for every Megalith monster you have on your field, you can basically decrease the attack and defense points of your opponent's monsters on the field by 500. However, just like Megalith Full, the second effect is basically what you want to go for, because you never use the first effect of this, because this card is just to get your Megaliths out on the field as quick as possible. It's a Full on steroids, to where you are ritual summoning from the deck and using cards in your hand or field as cost to summon the others. So this is a definite 3-of to play in the deck. And then we're playing... Shut up! Thank you! Sorry, my dog was barking like an idiot. Alright, and then hang on. We're playing 3 Pot of Extravagance, because that's self-explanatory, and this deck really doesn't use an extra deck, so it's just kind of there for the draw power. So that's about it. And then we're playing 2 of the Preparation of Raids. That's also self-explanatory. What that does is it searches your deck for a ritual monster, add it to your hand, and the second effect is search for a ritual spell from your graveyard, add it to your hand. But since this deck does not play ritual spells, we are not going off the second effect, we are going off the first effect. So therefore, null and void. And then for other generic spells, we are playing the 1 Book of Moon, and then the 1 Called by the Grave. So that's pretty much it for the spells, and since we don't play that many traps in this deck, I'm just going to just lay them out. We're playing 2 of the Continuous Trap Megalith Emergence. What this basically does is, it's a monster reborn for your Megaliths in your graveyard. You can special summon them. And as soon as this card leaves the graveyard, it does have a second effect. I do forget what it is. When it leaves the field, if this card leaves the field, you can only use the effect of Megalith Emergence once per turn. So therefore, it special summons any Megalith in defense position that's in your graveyard. But when it's destroyed, place it on the bottom of your deck when it leaves the field. Correction. So instead of the Megaliths getting sent to the graveyard, it basically just sends it back to your deck and recycles them to the bottom. So therefore, as I said, there's cards in this deck that is constantly recycling them back to your deck or your hand. So therefore, you're getting your cards back, no matter how you look at it. All right, and the last Megalith trap we're playing is 1 Megalith Promotion. Now, what this card does is it targets a level 4 Megalith monster on your field or lower, and you are able to double the level of that Megalith monster even if this card leaves the field. So therefore, it just is a level doubler. So you would want to combo him off with any of your other Megaliths and then use the Full. You use Full or Uniformed, or actually no. You would want to go into Megalith Promotion, then chain with Megalith Uniformed. Uniformed would send a Megalith to graveyard to ritual summon another monster, or vice versa. These all combo off are Full. So you have full combo right there. And our other generic traps, since this deck is constantly Earth and Rock, I'm sure you guys have noticed, we're playing both the Goes in Match and Rivalry of Warlords. And if everybody, I mean literally everybody, is still aware of what these cards do, you know that you just don't even need to explain that. This locks you out of playing multiple attributes, and this locks you out of playing multiple types, or monster types. So therefore, this is a solid Earth deck, so there's no biggie with that. And then you also have the solid Rock type, so your opponent is forced to have one of the other attribute and type on the field. So therefore, if your opponent's playing Sword Slow Tenyi, they have no choice but to choose only one monster type. But I think most of that deck is just all worms, so they get a pass. However, you're still locked out of playing multiple types, so therefore, Goes in Match would disrupt the combos regardless. So these two just lock you out of so many different things. And plus with Despia, it's kind of either light or dark, so they're stuck. If they have Quertes on the field, they're stuck with Quertes, and they're stuck with the fact they only have a Fiend. I mean, the whole deck is basically just a bunch of Fiends. Oh, and the last trap is a Solemn Warning. So therefore, that just basically, you pay 2k life just to stop the summoning of a monster. But anyway, Warlords, as I said, with Despia, it don't matter. However, Goes in Match says, oh, you want to play multiple levels. Oh, no, 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 no. We are not doing that, as Pegasus would go say. But anyway, that's it for the main deck with the traps and spells, or spells and traps, vice versa, however you would like to say that. And I know most people usually take about 15 minutes to usually do a whole deck profile, but with me, you guys have come to learn this guy don't take no 15 minutes for a deck. He takes like a whole half hour or whatever. Yeah, that's kind of true. And at some point, I'm probably gonna do a holy crap. Okay, you guys remembered what I said. I always have a catastrophe if that went by frickin' video. But we're going to go with the sideboard choices. So we are playing actually a full 15. So of course, you're playing the 3 Megaliths, the Aratron, the Auk, and the Bathor, like I said, because he's a good popper. And then for the other monster, we are playing the One True King, Lithogem the Disaster, and I actually forget what he does, because I don't use him a whole lot. If this card is in your hand, you can destroy 2 other monsters in your hand or field face up on that are Earth monsters, and you can special summon this card from your hand, so it's basically a free summon. And if you do, you can also send 3 monsters with different names that are destroyed by card effects from your opponent's extra deck. So therefore, you're destroying their extra deck and so forth. So that's what that does. I'm sorry, like, my brain does not want to work tonight. And then the extra Megalith portal, terraforming just for field search, Monster Reborn, that's self-explanatory. Bottomless Trap Hole, Compulse, Ring of Destruction, Torrential Tribute, 3 cylinders, and then... Holy crap, I do have another Emergence, so I could probably just play 3 of him. I goofed off. But anyway, that's pretty much it for the whole video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you guys have any comments, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on the deck. Did I do good? Did I do bad? Knowing me, I probably did bad. But as much as I tried to do as good as I can. And also, fun fact, I also have another new deck I'm actually wanting to show you guys, which I'm sure most of you know. The deck, to my understanding. However, I suck when it comes to explaining things, as you guys have already learned after the years of watching my videos. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts. What should I do different? What should I not do different? Is there any tips or advice you should give me on the Megalith deck, since I actually like a pure variant? But this deck is just for fun. It's not competitive. So to the person who commented on my Speedroid deck a while back saying if this was tournament level, this is not a tournament level. This is just a deck for fun, as far as I'm aware. And if I try and take this into Master Duel, I might get wrecked. I might not. We don't know. I don't know. Knowing me, I probably will get wrecked because I suck. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for the next video, and hopefully soon you guys will be seeing me doing some Master Duel videos of the story mode. And, yeah, cheerio, have a good day, and, auf Wiedersehen. Nyah.